On today's episode, we will be comparing the Petratools HD 4000 battery powered sprayer with the Ryobi 4-gallon sprayer that is also battery powered. So we'll also be doing a little mowing, a little growing, and we'll talk about something else afterwards. But before we get started, I have to know one thing. Are you ready? Hello, bing bong. Are you ready? I can't hear you.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, now we will compare and contrast these two sprayers, the Petratools HD 4000 and the Ryobi, which doesn't really have a that I know of a model number, but it's just the 18-volt 4-gallon sprayer, battery powered. How to contrast and compare these? Let's start off with the wands, I guess. The wands are suspiciously similar in a sense where it's almost like they're made by the same people, the wands. So I don't know how that works. I don't know if these companies build their tanks and then maybe buy the wands from someone else, but they do look very, very similar. There is a difference though. The diameter of this one on the Petra is larger than this one, so these are not interchangeable. So there's that. The markings, this doesn't really matter, I guess, once you know where they are, but the markings on the Petratools for the gallons and liters or whatever are virtually non-existent. You can't hardly see them. You know, they're there, but you can't hardly tell where, you know, where is the 3-gallon mark, where's the 4-gallon mark, where's the 1-gallon mark. It's hard to see. I have to say, on the Ryobi, very easy to see. Gallons right there, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're some kind of a communist and you use liters, there you go, you got that. I have to say also that I like, and this may vary, this is just my opinion, this may vary between person to person, what you prefer, but on the Petratools you have to plug this into here. The battery is inside here and stays inside here, so you have to plug that into this to charge it. I do like on the Ryobi, you have this. Let's see if I can do this with one hand without knocking everything over. Anyway, you get the point. It's a regular Ryobi battery that you pull out and you just plug it into its charging station. For some reason I prefer that. To just have the charging station, pull the battery out and let it charge and then slap it back in here. I prefer that for whatever reason. Power wise, for me personally, the HD 4000 is overpowered. You can't, to me, I can't really spot spray with it at all. So if you want a sprayer to spot spray a little area, say you were in here and you were wanting to just spot spray this stuff out of the bed, it's in my opinion, not good for that because it's just too much. And yes, it is variable. You can, it says here, you know, for variable PSI, you use the knob here. It's sort of a weird setup. If you want to use it maximum, you just turn this switch on. So that can be confusing unless you read the literature with it. It can be confusing because you got a switch and a knob and they don't necessarily work together. This one, you just turn it on for full blast. This, variable. But the variable switch, I don't think makes a whole lot of difference. When you turn it on the lowest setting, it's still gangbusters, is all I'm saying. Now, if you're getting one, if you're getting a sprayer like this for spraying large swaths of areas, and you're wanting to get volume out there, I would say your Petratools is the way to go. It sprays some stuff. It sprays large volumes out quickly. But that's not to say the Ryobi doesn't either. You know, it does as well. And this is where the Ryobi works better for me, in that you have this, it's not confusing, you know, you don't have a switch and a knob, and you just have a knob. And when you turn it on, that's minimum. Then you go to maximum, you know. And I have to say, at the minimum setting, it's much more controlled than the Petratools, but still not as controlled as a good old this good old pump one, you know. But it is more controlled, so I give the Ryobi that over the Petratools, is that it is more controlled. I like the battery setup better. The Petratools does have this nifty little meter on here, where this one doesn't, but you know, on the charging station it does. So I guess since it's got its own built-in charging station on that one, it would make sense that it would have that, and this one wouldn't, because it will tell you if how your battery's charged on the charger itself. I love, this is something I love about this one much more, is this, the lid. You see how it's got this big handle here? You can tighten and loosen this much easier than this one. I don't really, I never understood the two setup here, but you know, that's just me not knowing what it's for. But this lid, and much like the lids on all of those, are far inferior in my opinion. This is the way to go. Put a big handle on it. It's got a handle to the thing, but they combine the handle with the lid, and I like that just for loosening and tightening purposes. I love that. Let's check around the back here. The padding on these, they're both good. There's something I like better about the Ryobi padding, but they're both they're both decent. They're both good, so I think they're pretty even there. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yes, I did have a problem, and it could have just be this one, but I did have a problem with this leaking, and with this tip here. It's almost like it was stripped, you know. You when you tighten the tip down onto here, sorry, pollen. When you tighten the tip down here, it was like it was stripped. So I had to really pack some plumber's tape on there, and then once I did that, that was fine. But there was an issue there. This little thing for holding the wand, it will only hold it with it in that position. If you try to put it in any other position, this gets in the way of the wand, and this thing tends to fall off. It's not molded onto the tank for some reason, so this falls off, and I don't like that. This is much more doable here. It holds it, it's molded onto it, it's not falling off, and you could put it on there in different, you don't have to have it just a certain way or it won't go on there. So in conclusion, I would say, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I like the Ryobi better. If I were to pick up one of these, I would pick this one up, as long as this situation straightens out, you know, where that doesn't leak. I like all the other features just a little bit better. Now that's not downing Petratools. Petratools is a good sprayer. Like I said, if you're wanting just pure power and to get a bunch of stuff sprayed, you can't go wrong. And you can't go wrong in general with Petratools HD 4000. It's a good one. There was something else that just came into my brain. Let me think. Yes. The reason I have, you may ask, why do I have two of these? You know, I didn't buy that just to compare them. I actually bought the Ryobi because one day I really needed a lot of spray, and I didn't want to, you know, just have to fill this one back up. So I just bought another one to have two for both of us, me and JR, to both have a sprayer like this. So I bought this one. That's why I have it, and I thought it would be interesting, and hopefully it has been interesting to you, to compare and contrast these. Oh yes, another thing, the price. You will pay more for the Petratools HD 4000. A little bit more, little bit more costly. The only reason I could think that would be is because Petratools is a smaller company, Ryobi a larger one, so maybe that has something to do with it. But you can't go wrong with either one of these, is the conclusion. But if I had to pick one that I was going to use out of these two, since I have both of these, and I'm only taking one sprayer out that day, this is the one I'm taking, and I've done that. So there you go. Hope that helped in some odd way. Now let's go do a little mowing, just a little bit. Please stick with me through this. Watch the mowing, please. Even if you just let it play in the background while you go do a chore or something. Please let it play. It'll help the algorithms, and that would be greatly appreciated. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about something else. So until then, I'll see you in a few minutes, and you'll see me on the mower in just like a second. So that was a lot of fun being out in the 105 heat index temperatures mowing. Yeah, the dog days of summer are well on their way, and I'm sure if you own a lawn care business, you are getting burnt out about this point. So just hang in there. Hang in there. It will be cooling off at some point. But right now, it's rough, and I feel you, because I'm out in it every day, just like you are. But what I wanted to talk about is I see people, you know, who you are, that down every 2-week yards, or bi-weekly yards, if you want to call them that. I really don't understand the problem. Help me to understand, okay? I mean, unless, you know, it's just a different part of the country and the grass gets so high that you have to mow it a bunch of times to make it look right. I could see that. But to me, if there's anybody in my area, hey, any of y'all out there in my area, if you want to drop your every 2-week yards, do it. Drop them. Drop the heck out of them. And I'll come right behind you picking them up. Because if you have an every 2-week yard, and then you have another every 2-week yard, let's make it simple. Let's just say you have 2. If you have 2 every 2-week yards, what you have there, my friends, is 1 every week yard. Yeah, just put them on opposite weeks. And you have a 1 every week yard. Plus, the plus to it is that, you know, it's not as boring as every week yard that you go to every week and you see it every week. You only see this one every 2 weeks. So it's like you get a little break from it. So, yeah, if you want to drop them, by all means drop them. And if you see people dropping them, you go pick them up, because I don't mind every 2-week yards or bi-weekly yards at all. None whatsoever. Because you can compile a bunch of yards that way, and say you have 10 of them or 20 of them. Say you have 20. Then you got 10 every week yards sitting right there waiting for you. But you want to get rid of that? Nah, I'll take them. I'll take them. And you should too. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, keep mowing, keep growing, keep pimping. See ya. Boo!